Hey guys, I want to share something with you that I just learned from watching one of the trial clips in the case of Jennifer Rosenbaum. She was convicted of murdering little 2-year-old Layla, who was placed in her care as a foster mom. Well, the foster mom's sister testified at her trial for the defense, and there was some pretty interesting information coming out, let me tell you, because people have been asking questions about Jennifer Rosenbaum's childhood. So I found out a little bit more about her childhood after listening to this testimony of her sister. Her sister said that she was adopted when she was 10 days old, and she's older than Jennifer. So by the time Jennifer was born, her older sister had already been adopted out as a brand new baby. And the two sisters didn't meet until they found each other on Facebook in 2010. And remember, Jennifer Rosenbaum was in foster care when she was a kid. She was placed into foster care at age 9 because her family was either homeless or living in a tent or living in their car at a truck stop. And there were also allegations of physical abuse. So she and her biological sister found each other on Facebook in 2010, and then they met for the first time on Jennifer's 22nd birthday. That was 5 years before she murdered little Layla. So get this. The sister tells a story about how she went over to Jennifer's house the day before the murder, which, by the way, little Layla was murdered on Jennifer's 27th birthday. She said she stopped over just for 20 minutes or so to drop off a birthday present for Jennifer. And the girls were playing outside while Jennifer was inside the house visiting with her sister. The little 2-year-old and 4-year-old were playing out in the backyard. Here is a photo of the backyard that a little 2-year-old and 4-year-old were playing in. Do you see what I see? Why on earth is there a ladder up to the tree if you have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old playing in that yard? Without supervision, I might add. The sister said they looked out the kitchen window and saw the girls on the ladder. The sister said that the 4-year-old was 4 or 5 rungs high, and the 2-year-old was on either the second or third rung. And then the 4-year-old supposedly slipped down the ladder, and the 2-year-old landed on her butt. I don't know if they were trying to make it sound like that's how the girls were injured. But back it up a second. You have 2 adult women inside the house. Well, there is a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old out in the yard with a ladder propped up to the tree. And nobody thought this was weird? Nobody asked the question, why was the ladder up against the tree? Oh, actually, I think they did, and I think the sister said that her daughter had been playing with the ladder. Really? So let's just leave the ladder up there so that a little 2-year-old and a 4-year-old can get hurt. How on earth did Jennifer Rosenbaum ever get approved to take those little girls into her home. Have you heard the 4-year-old's testimony yet about her little sister being beaten with a belt by Miss Jennifer Rosenbaum? And how she would beat on the 4-year-old also by Miss Jennifer Rosenbaum? Well, Mr. Rosenbaum did nothing. And don't kid yourself, he knew what was going on. The little 4-year-old said he was right there. And he did nothing. And he said nothing. I have learned from the trial also that the caseworker who was assigned to the case and her supervisor have both been fired. I wonder if the latter was leaning up against the tree when the caseworker visited the house. You think?